About 5 months ago, I made a video talking about some leaks about a possible DLC for Assassin's Creed Mirage. Now we got an official confirmation for the DLC that's releasing by the end of this year, which I guess it means that the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake was pushed for the beginning of 2026. But onto the happy news, this is a brand new DLC with new locations, new missions, new story, everything that you would expect from a DLC, and it's free. So this video is gonna be talking about my expectations for the DLC, what I'm hoping to see, and what I'm guessing that won't be in the DLC. So let's get straight into it. So starting off with the little that we do know about it, we know that it's gonna be taking place in Al-Ula, which is in Saudi Arabia. It's quite a bit off from Baghdad, so I don't know what takes Basim there, but from the promotional image I can guess a few things which we will get into in a bit. Gameplay improvements for the base game and for the new locations are also expected in this DLC, which gives me hope for reworked contracts and a couple of other things that I also want to mention in this video. But so far, that's all the official information that we have for the DLC. So everything from this point on will be my personal prediction. Ubisoft have not shared anything more than this for the DLC, but I'm guessing that they will share pretty soon. So if we take a look at the promotional image that they posted, we can see a couple of things. First of all, we can see Basim with Enkidu, so it means that the DLC is taking place in the main game. It's not after the game, because if you played the game, you know by the end Enkidu is just not with Basim, without getting any spoilers. So we do know for sure that it's gonna be in the middle of the game. We also know that it's gonna be connected to his father, because we can see him carrying the pendant that in the story he got from his dad, who was exiled from Baghdad. I'm guessing he was exiled to Al-Ula, and that's why Basim is going there. So we can tell that it's gonna involve his dad in some kind of way, and we can also see in the picture some guy that he's following the footsteps of. I'm guessing that is dad. And we can also see a tomb on the right side of the image, which is probably one of the main tombs that we see in Al-Ula. I looked it up online, and you can see this as an example for the tomb that we can find in Al-Ula in real life. I think this is where they shot the scene for The Fifth Element. If you've seen that movie, shout out to that movie, it's a good one. I know this place from that movie, and it is an interesting place. From what I found out about Al-Ula, it seems like a nice place to set an Assassin's Creed game. There's plenty of cities strewn about with opportunities for parkour, although I don't know if the parkour is gonna be as fun as Baghdad, because from the images that I got to see, the houses seem pretty low and not that varied and built for parkour. Now when it comes to the things that I expect will be in the DLC, we already know that it's gonna have new locations and new gameplay things and missions, so I assume they will add new enemies. First of all, that's kind of a given. New loot, both weapons and custom and outfits. But other than that, we don't know anything for sure, but we do know that there are gonna be improvements. Now, just to temper the expectations, this game is set on a different engine from Assassin's Creed Shadows, so I am 99% sure that we will not get improvements like new lighting technology, new fog or whatever like we have in Shadows, because it's a whole other engine, and I doubt that they will put this much effort into just a random DLC. What I do expect to see is improvements to stuff that doesn't take a new engine. For example, I think they will improve the parkour, make it faster, make it more free form. That would be something I love if they don't limit us as much as they do in the main game right now. Also, I would love to see a reworked contract system, something like the other games in the RPG series. This, as far as I know, is the only game since Origins that does not have a way to earn the premium content for the game for free. Every other game since Origins had an Orichalcum, I think it was an Odyssey. Every game had a different currency that you can grind for and get the premium outfits for your character, except Mirage. And I would love to have the option of getting these premium outfits with some kind of grind that will add more to the game, so I'm hoping to see that. Other than a reworked contract system, I would also love to see new difficulty. I don't think they will add the extreme stealth difficulty from Shadows, because again, that's just a whole other system, a new engine, but I do expect them to add just some kind of harder difficulty to the game, because right now it's very easy to go through the game, and basically the only enemy that gives you trouble is the bounty hunter that you get when you have a bounty of like max 3 stars on your head, and you see them rarely. I finished the game twice before I saw one of them, and only then I realized there's this whole enemy type that follows you if you have a bounty on your head. So I would love to have some kind of new difficulty. Whether it comes from enemies or locations, I don't care, but just make the game more difficult. And another thing that I would love to see is the same thing that I am wishing for in Assassin's Creed Shadows, and that's side quests. This game, I know it's not a big game, it's just a side game, but even then, I do hope that we get some side quests to add to the meat on the bone of the game. Because right now we only have the main story and the contracts, which are fun by themselves, but I like when the world is fleshed out with some side characters that have nothing to do with the main story. That was one of the strongest points in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and in Origins. I know many people complained about it, but in my personal opinion, it only adds to the game. It doesn't take away from it. You can just ignore the side quests if you don't like them. But if you do like them, then they add and flesh out the main world of the game, and I would love for them to add some like Lost Tales of Baghdad to this game, or Lost Tales of Alola, I don't care, but something new to grind and play and just to explore this world, because hands down, in my opinion, after playing this game for like 2 years since release, it is one, if not the best world that Ubisoft ever built. Baghdad is just teeming with life and history, and there's so much to see and learn about. And the vibe of this game is also like a 10 out of 10. And it's just a shame that as the game stands right now, there's not much to do in the world other than the contracts, which don't really make you feel like you are part of the world. I want to live in Baghdad, experience it, learn about it, see how the people go on about their daily lives. So I do hope that they add side quests. That's one of my major asks for the DLC. The last two things that I want and are not so likely, that's why I left them for last. I don't think they will happen, but if they do happen, I will go over the moon crazy about this game. First of all, I would like to have deeper progression when it comes to the loot for this game. I felt that no matter what loot I use, both when it comes to the armor and to the weapons, there is basically no difference. First of all, because the game is too easy, but I already talked about that, but also because there's not much variety to build on. I understand it's a short game, but now with the added DLC, it will be kind of a longer game. So I think it is an opportunity for Ubisoft to revisit the loot system and add more unique attributes to each gear's piece, like we had in Odyssey, or even better like we have in Shadows right now. Doesn't have to be anything too deep, doesn't have to be The Witcher 3, but something that lets me build varied builds for Basim, and not just basically have the same outfit no matter what. That would be fun, but again, I don't think that will happen because it will take a lot of work from Ubisoft to go over the whole loot system and rework it. And the last thing that I wish to see from this DLC, which again I don't think will happen but I am hoping for, is something to do with the Isu storyline. We built up Basim as being the new story protagonist for the modern times back in Valhalla, and then in Shadows we just moved on and did a whole new thing with the ego system thing. There's no connection between the two and it feels like they left it abruptly and no explanation is given for it. So I would love to have some kind of connection between the two. Tell us what happened to Basim and why we are now dealing with a whole other set of characters. I would love to see that, and also in the main story itself. I felt like it gave us a nice bridge between what happened with Basim's early life and Basim in Valhalla, but it felt me a little unsatisfied. It left me a little unsatisfied because it didn't give us anything like shocking or big or strong emotionally. Now there is a chance to do that because the story is probably gonna revolve around his dad. So I am hoping for something more emotional, something that connects us more to Basim, because I do believe that he is a good character and he is fun to listen to, but the main game doesn't give him much to work with. And I would love for this game to give us a better ending for Basim, because I doubt that we will get a new game with him. I mean, if Bayek didn't get a new game or Cassandra, then I doubt that Basim will. But this is the last chance to give a nice goodbye to Basim and finish off his story in a nice way that leads him into Valhalla. So I am hoping for a better ending, basically. But all in all, those are all the things I'm wishing or hoping to see in the DLC. Let me know what you think the DLC will include. Maybe I am being too ambitious, too optimistic. Maybe it will be just like a 2-story mission and that's it. But I'm hoping for more, and I think it will be more, but let me know what you think. Other than that, if you enjoy Assassin's Creed, be sure to check out the channel. Shadows is of course getting a new DLC and a new update in less than a month, in only like 1 or 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that. Let me know what else you want to hear about Assassin's Creed, and as always, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.